Okay, so I'm assuming I'm live, so thank you for tuning in. If you're watching this not live, then welcome to hopefully the final part 3 of my Customising live, finishing up my Doctor Strange, I hope. In this episode, I'm thinking, unless I get distracted by people chatting to me, I'm going to be finishing up his eyes, they're plain white here. I'm going to be touching up his hair and probably doing some gloss on his shoes, picking out other little bits. It should be fairly straightforward final stretch to the finish line, but we'll see. I've got 3 people. Hello, Elliot. Hello, Dylan. How are you both this evening? Thank you, CC Customs. So Dylan LB says that he bought the Toy Biz Doctor Strange. Oh, this guy over here. And you really like him apart from his heavy rubber cape. Yeah, it's true. They tried, but the cape is a real challenge. Hello, Thomas, Cameron's Customs, G-Man, and Cassius. Righty, what am I going to do? I might do the eyes. Let's try the eyes. You mean a Spider-Man Homecoming custom, Cameron? Thank you very much, G-Man. Thank you, Socopus. Just going to try and get the camera a bit lower down because I tend to work closer to the table than this. So Cameron, what are you doing with your homecoming Spider-Man? Are you using the Civil War Spider-Man or are you doing something different? The prototype suit, not sure I know what that is. Is that when he's in the hoodie and whatever? Okay, I actually don't know what colour Stephen Strange's eyes are. They seem to be on this figure, they're blue. What's my opinion on 3A? Yeah, they're pretty good. Not my thing, too stylised. Like I always say, when you do a style, it's either two people's taste or it is not. And they're usually not to my taste. Where is the seam I'm looking for? Okay. Pretty conclusively there, Doctor Strange's eyes are blue. Blue eyes. Dylan is asking, will I be adding some grey to the hair? Yes, I will. Of course I will. This ain't Hollywood. You're allowed to have some grey in your hair. What did I say? Blue. This is always nerve-wracking stuff. So Cameron, you're going to be trying to make a fabric suit for your Spider-Man Homecoming custom. That's very ambitious. Good luck. Blah. Blah. Probably start with black. Actually, it's not. It's a really dark blue base. Might use that. G-Man is saying, prototype soup is the rags that Peter has before Tony makes the new one. 3A have made 2000 AD stuff. It's honestly great. I think Dread looks better than the 1/12 collective. I have the Judge Death from 3A actually. And he's pretty good. For the price though, I was disappointed with the paint applications. The Judge Dredd does look good. Oh, I've given him a wandering eye. Oh dear. Dylan is asking, have I ever botched up one part of a custom which resulted in me cancelling the whole thing? Yes, but that has to happen very early on. I made a Mysterio custom many years ago in his Ben Reilly Spider-Man era costume, and I fucked that up really bad. Try to do smoke with hot glue because he has a smoke, sort of a ball of smoke for a head. It didn't turn out. It didn't really fuck it up. It just was a bad idea in the first place. Now let me just consider these eyes. Have I fucked them up? He's just looking off to the side, isn't he? What kind of brush am I using on the eyes? This kind. Don't know if that helps. I ordered it online. I did a search for nail brush art and I bought a set and it came, and this is what I got. The Night Strike and Lewis Soul are saying very nice things. Thank you very much, guys. I've been looking forward to doing another one of these live streams. So much so that people responded very positively to them, so I'm almost scared to work on my custom at all without streaming it. Well, back to square one, huh? Rocky Mountain Tar Heel says that he looks a little like a young Burt Reynolds at the moment. Well, there we are. I guess he does. You're quite right. But then, that's the kind of era that Doctor Strange is from, huh? Action figure photography. Can I explain my approach when doing eyes? Certainly. What I do is I paint the eye entirely black. Then I paint the whites of the eyes and leaving just the top black if it's a man. Or if it's a woman, I leave the top and the bottom black so that it has a lash on either side. And then what I do is I paint a dark colour, a dark circle, and try and get them even. a dark colour circle. So dark blue for this guy, I'll paint dark blue circles, try and get them pointing in the same direction. And then I'll paint a lighter blue circle, smaller, on top of that. Then I'll put a little bit of black in the centre for the pupil, and then I'll fleck a little bit of white into the corners of the iris and the pupil, just to create a reflective sort of idea. Kind of like that. It's kind of a bigger eye, but that's kind of the thing I'm going for. Kirk Falchett. Table. Right. Now, the thing is, you can only mess up so many times before you have to strip, get a little bit of paint thinner or something in there, and start all over again with the eyes, because, you know, if you keep piling on layers and getting it wrong, they eventually bulge out and they look very lumpy and not very great. It's looking shit. Nah. It's looking very intense now. Maybe that's okay. Oh yeah. I like that. I like that a bit better. Oh, I can breathe now. Whew. And catch up on the chat a little. Kyle Harris says he's been waiting for this stream for days. Well, thank you, Kyle. Thank you for your patience. Ryden Keefe says, love heart, love heart, love heart. Well, love heart to you too. Planted Prism, are there any customs you have in mind after you finish this beauty? I have plenty in mind, none in particular. Blink, Stardust, which I'll never do. Graviton, Mysterio, Magneto. Don't know who else. Madam Web. Phantom Rendy, create custom anti-venom or Black Spider-Man. I already made an anti-venom. And I've made Venom and Agent Venom and Superior Venom, so I think I've done enough sort of Black Spider-Man. Dylan LB asked me, am I excited for the Lego Batman movie? Actually, yes, I kind of am. I think it looks good fun, which is what a superhero movie should be, I think. It shouldn't all be so grim and apocalyptic. Kirk Holland says Nimrod. No, I don't think Nimrod's design works very well as an action figure. He's very sleek. Doesn't seem to have very... the way his head, shoulders and upper arms all sort of merge in with his upper body makes it very difficult to figure out articulation. And also, I'm not really into Nimrod, so nice idea, interesting design for a character, but I've already made Bastion anyway, and he essentially is Nimrod, right? Zeleniagon says it's turning out great, thank you. And Ryden Keefe says Magneto could be fun. Yeah, I think so. J814, can you make the new Venom Deadpool? No, I won't go any further than that because I don't like Deadpool. And there are enough customs of him in the world without me adding to it. But thanks for the idea, nonetheless. Ross Corbett says a Blick custom would be epic. I'm not familiar with Blick. What's Blick? C3 Lego. Hello. Hello yourself. Star Wars Fan 13 asked me, will I be getting the Mafex Spider-Man Homecoming figure? Unlikely. I've never bought a Mafex figure. I've had people say terrible things about them, great things about them. Either way, they're just a little... I don't really want to spend that much on a Marvel character. I get a bit of buyer's remorse. And yeah, movie figures, you know, come and go. Ryden Keefe says he misses Bastion. I miss Bastion too, but he did have I did really enjoy Second Coming, which was a great finale for him. Matt Rivera says you should make Red Wolf. No, Matt, you should make Red Wolf. I have no interest in the character. I've never read anything with him apart from Avengers Forever. Ross Corbett says, a Blink figure from you would be amazing. You are so talented and creative when it comes to designs. Oh, thank you, Ross. J814, could I make a dragon just for fun? What kind of dragon? like a dragon, or like a Bruce Lee dragon, or Savage dragon, or something else. Oh, Ross Corbett says I meant blank, can't spell. Okay, understood, Ross. Thank you. I should make a dragon statue. Nah. There's plenty of dragon statues out there. Some of them even have like fairies and crystals on them. You can go get them. They're terrible. G-Man, would you find a battle damaged Wolverine with his ribs visible and more bones out enjoyable to make? No. Or would you lean more to Savage Wolverine after he had the adamantium ripped from him? Neither. I'm not that into Wolverine, not that passionate about him. I think he has a lot of figures. There's very few versions of Wolverine that haven't already had a figure, including what you've just mentioned there, the Savage Wolverine. Although I did enjoy that kind of version of him when he was actually, he wasn't a total dick for a change. He wasn't all macho, he was just an animal, so it was slightly more interesting, but I can appreciate that's not what fans like. Do you ever revisit any characters you've previously done, says Lewis Solis. Yes, I previously did Doctor Strange, and I previously did Swarm last year, so yes, I do revisit characters occasionally. Only when I think I can do something I wasn't able to the first time. For example, with Swarm, I felt like I could do a much better cape, and again with Doctor Strange here, the same thing. A Frankencastle custom would be awesome. That's quite a fun story. Again, not a big fan of the Punisher though, but interesting idea. Oh, I see, like a statue of Fing Fang Foom. I'm an action figure guy, I appreciate statues, but action figures are just they're that little bit more of a challenge for me. So I enjoy making action figures. Any favourite TV shows? Yes, my favourite TV show is Star Trek, The Next Generation. And then beyond that, The Golden Girls. I recently watched Rick and Morty. That was fun. What else did I watch? I watched an episode of Black Mirror tonight with dinner. Find them a little bit difficult sometimes. They're a little, first world problem-y. But I guess that's the point. David Styles asked me, would I make a Baron Mordo? I would perhaps, David, but I've never seen a version of Baron Mordo that has captured my imagination. He always just looks like a crazy sorcerer. I enjoy characters where the visual look of the character communicates something about the character, something about who they are, which is why I like this version of Doctor Strange. He looks like a wizard, but he also looks like kind of like a professional guy. I kind of like that, mixing the Doctor with the Strange. Baron Mordo has never had a design like that for me, so yeah, I doubt I would make him. I could come up with my own design, but it's actually hard to find Baron Mordo stories that tell you a lot about the guy. He's a bit dry. He's a bit of an evil wizard, and that's it. Matt Rivera, do you think Marvel Legends should come out with a Chamber figure? Oh, Matt. Chamber. That's a lot of original sculpting there. So Should they? Of course they should. Will they? No, they won't. You know, I've seen in Marvel Legends of recent years, we've seen someone on the team is a big fan of the superior foes, and we're getting them. Someone is a fan of the X-Men somewhere, so we're getting some great X-Men characters, but I haven't seen any evidence of sort of Generation X. We got Jubilee, but not even classic Jubilee. We got Vampire Jubilee, so yeah, I don't see any evidence of Generation X being on the cards, unfortunately. G-Man says he lost interest in Wolverine until Old Man Logan, even though he's still a dick. Old Man Logan was a very good story, I think, especially for people who do not like Wolverine, because he's kind of given up on being Wolverine, which is a breath of fresh air. He's decided to stop that very put-on act he had all those years and be a normal person, which it seems he has always been capable of. He's just a moody emo bastard. Murillo Ricardo, would you comment or review other people's customs? I'm not too sure what you mean, like how people would send me their customs and I would talk about them, or I would just see them online, and it's very difficult. You know, customs, someone has poured their heart and soul into something, and their time and their effort. It's hard to say anything apart from that's great. You know, it's hard to do that. So when you're asking me to review, you can't review something. You know, if you're just going to say it's great, that's not a review. That's me shaking paint, by the way. It's not having nonsense off camera. F52859 asked me if I would ever consider doing a Star Wars custom. Yes, I have considered it, but you know, there's just so much out there. I find Star Wars is a difficult crowd. Fans are, I wouldn't say they're rabid, they're very particular. They know the characters' costumes inside and out. Like if you get Boba Fett's costume wrong, like if you mix it, the Empire Strikes Back version with the Return of the Jedi version, then they go, oh, that costume never happened. There's a very meticulous attention to detail with Star Wars fans. So it's just not an area I've really wanted to get into. And also because they all just look like normal people, kind of, and I don't know, like they all look like actors from a 70s science fiction thing. So I've never been that interested in it. But like I always say, perhaps like Krita from Knights of the Old Republic would be cool. Or Bib Fortuna, someone like that. G-Man says Baron Mordo, clearly his best design was in the Spider-Man animated series because his controlling of Carnage was totally needed. I think I'd given up on that series by that point, to be honest, but I remember watching something maybe on YouTube or back in the days of the episodes being online or something. So I'm not too familiar with Mordo's look at that time. Okay, I think I've got his eyes down. Wesley Saylor asked me, would I ever consider a Nightcrawler custom or his father? Nightcrawler, yeah, I guess I would consider that. He hasn't had a good Marvel Legend yet, so... Well, the body on the Galactus Series 1 was amazing, but the face was a nightmare. What's his father's name again? It's not Zoriel. It's not Zaladane. Who is it? He was in the X-Men First Class movie as well. It's not Azrael. No, can't remember. Anyway, no. Basically, I would consider it, but then I'd very quickly go, nah, I'm not that into either of them. Dylan LB, if Hasbro released a 2-pack, who would you want in it? The Silver Surfer and Nova, the Herald of Galactus. Rocky Mountain Tar Heel asked me, have I seen the Golden Girls Funko Pops? Yes, I have. Not a big fan of Funko Pops. They make every character look the same. G-Man says, my Iceman Frozen ACB and Ellie... Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, when I put Iceman in Elsa's wig and skirt. Yeah, thank you. Sloppy Dog Riddles, would I ever make a custom of Roger Moore's James Bond? I love Roger Moore's James Bond. I don't think I'd make a custom of him, though. I'd do him in that, like, Live and Let Die, when he's wearing that really sort of pastel safari suit. He's just so cool and so confident and witty, and he goes into Mr. Big's club, Kananga's club. Man, he was just so cool. What do I think about Superheroes Mezco figures? They're okay. They could do with some work. They're coming along nicely. I think they do better work with the everyday clothing figures like the Punisher and the Red Skull than they do with the... It may have something to do with dark colours and leather rather than the cloth, which looks very toy-like, doll-like. But yeah, they're doing alright. Shid says I have a very Bob Ross style. Thank you. Wesley Saylor says, would I ever consider doing a Demo Goblin custom from the Spectacular Spider-Man? I don't think I've seen the version you're talking about, the Demon Goblin. So perhaps not. F52859, I was wondering how you collect a whole bath wave of Marvel Legends. I order a case from, there's a retailer here in the UK called Kapow Toys, and you can order a whole bath wave from them. That's how I tend to do it. But occasionally, if you just get there fast enough, you can get them all. Be persistent, look online, shop in different places, you'll find them. It's not that difficult. Awesome Isaac, got your name right this time, Isaac. Have I ever tried anything as good as or better than Milliput? I have never tried anything other than Milliput for most of my sculpting. Kyle says, what do I still have to do? I still have to do his hair. It's just a flat black at the moment. I don't know. I might try a bit of a grayer all over dry brush to bring out some of the detail, and then of course do the white going around his hair, white and grey. And then I got to gloss his shoes, and just tidy up a few bits. See around the collar there, still got some skin tone. So yeah, I'm just tidying up. She says, I'm very calming and pleasant to watch, except when I get aggro for someone asking the same question for the 1000th time. Yeah. I'm fine, thank you, Nathaniel Camps. Thank you for asking. Azazel, thank you. Am I looking forward to Thor Ragnarok? Says F52859. No, not particularly. I don't really get excited for movies anymore. I'm just over them, to be honest. Lewis Solis says, would you do a Dr. Phibes? Perhaps. Difficult. A lot of work for someone that some people don't really recognise. Sloppy Dog Riddle says he'd do Roger Moore in his lemony spacesuit from Moonraker. Yup. I should put ASMR in the subject line of these videos. Someone mentioned what that was last time and I've forgotten. Would I consider doing a Japanese style Darth Vader custom? Nope. Would you ever do a Lou Ferrigno Hulk custom? No. Would you? No. Why? Have I ever made a rubber or plastic cape from scratch? Yes, I have. Thank you for the question, David Chiu. What's my favourite and least favourite import company? Well, Meat Nation, they're all import companies to me because the Hasbro figures are from the USA and I don't live there. But if you're meaning East Asian, perhaps what you mean by import company, then I don't know, probably Bandai at the moment. I don't know, I judge them on an individual figure basis. Sloppy Dog Riddles, have I ever thought about making a business out of your customs like Anthony's Customs does? Yes, I have, but I don't really want to go down that way. I did used to take commissions, but I found that I did better work when I was not commissioned and I had a more pleasant time. Lewis Solis, have you done any other horror movie customs other than Pennywise? Yes, I did a custom of Sadako from The Ring and Vincent Price as well. I did them a long time ago and they're probably in my I Was a Teenage Customizer video here on YouTube. F52859, I know baths are expensive, how do I afford it? Well, I have a full-time job. I'm a 38-year-old man with no children and I don't have that much of a social life. I don't go out drinking, I don't go out partying, I don't spend a lot of money on clothes, or I don't have a car. I don't spend a lot of money on much other stuff, so it's all figures for me. That's my hobby, so that's where my money goes. What's my favourite Star Wars movie? It's Return of the Jedi. What age did I start collecting action figures? I don't know. My parents have always bought me action figures, so early memories of action figures are like Bosk and these sort of things. So from when I was like 3-4 years old, perhaps. Awesome Isaac, if you were to consider making any Spider-Man, what spider would it be? It would be the spider that puts the hyphen between spider and man. Isaac. There has to be a hyphen, I insist. I'm just kidding, not really. What Spider-Man would I make? I don't know. I mean, Hasbro are doing them all now anyway, so I'm not particularly bothered. I made Spider Carnage before. I've done a kind of a Kit Bash Superior Spider-Man. I made a Ben Reilly Spider-Man before. I've made a Scarlet Spider before. I made an Iron Spider before. So I think I've done my rounds of Spider-Man figures, to be honest. And that's better. Thank you for the hyphen. Well done. Righty. Now, let me take a look at this here. So I'm just actually running a dry brush through his hair, see if there's any flecks of paint I can get out. And there were. Right. Sloppy Dog Riddles. Could you make a video series on how to make customs like you do? Like, show us what you use and how you use it. Yeah, I've made every year. I do that. Thank you for not watching any of my videos. Yep, I've done several Secret Santa projects where I take you step by step through what I use for each project. And if you watch a few of them, you'll notice it's always the same materials and the same approach I take. So it's all out there. Go indulge and get a good idea of how I customize. I'm just looking through the comic just now. So he does have, I don't like shading black with blue, but I may just do that in this case. The Trash Bar asked me, have I watched Two Girls, One Cup? Yes, I have. F52859, I have never been to Edinburgh. Is there any better comic book shops compared to England? No, not in Edinburgh. Edinburgh is pretty poor for comic book shops. We only have Forbidden Planet. But in Glasgow, there's a few comic shops. A1 Comics is nice in Glasgow. I recommend that. It has quite a lot of action figures and they have a good website as well. So head over there, a1toys.com, I think. Have I seen the Mayface? What? Have I seen the Mayface Spider-Man? Of course I have. If you could create a wave of 8 Marvel Legends, well, oh God, that's a big question. I can't. I'm trying to focus on customizing. You tell me yours, and I'll tell you mine. Leo 3 Fro just says a custom figure of Hellboy in 6-inch scale? Question mark. I don't know what you mean by that, but there we are. Alex, any idea how Hasbro would make Marvel Legends Doc Ock figure? Which version, etc.? I don't know. What might you do for your next custom? Already answered that tonight, Awesome Isaac. And I think I answered it last time you were here too. It's probably still the same answer. CEO Adams, Zio, sorry. The figure is looking very good, thank you. F52859, I know you make custom action figures, but do you ever make accessories for figures? Yes, I do. Every time I do a custom action figure, I make accessories for it as well. Now, let me talk about this Incubi Darkness. It's a very deep blue. Let me see what I can do with this. Dry brush, dry brush, dry brush, dry brush. Where are you, my dry brush? Come out. Here you are, my darling. Joey Medina, do you use a wash for the shading and the face wrinkles? Yes, and around the eyes. Yes, I do. Bam. Sloppy Dog Riddles. Am I going to any Comic Cons or Collectomanias this year? I expect so. I think I'm going to Edinburgh Comic Con. And also to... I always go to Collectormania class. Well, what do they call it? They don't call it Collectormania anymore because it's not as appealing as calling something Comic Con. Collectormania Glasgow, essentially, whatever that's called now. Glasgow Film and Comic Con or something like that they call it. Takes place in August. Out at the Braehead Shopping Centre. Yes, I will probably be going there. But also to the Edinburgh Comic Con. I enjoyed that last year. Very nice venue. The carpeted floor makes all the difference on your feet when you're standing around and walking around for hours on end. Righty. Is there any one figure I could have? If there was any one figure I could have, what figure would it be? Oh, I'm not too sure. I don't know. I really like the Sentinel re-edit Hulkbuster. It's just too expensive to justify, really. Brandon Maloney. If Wish did a Secret Santa style event more than one time a year, would you participate? They do already do that. They also do something called Summer Swap, and I don't participate. I just do the Christmas one. The Trash Bar. Do you like Marvel Netflix series? And if yes, have you considered making a custom in that style? I'm very hit and miss with them. I find them a little bit, I'm obviously making Doctor Strange here. Look at other customs I've made. Swarm, Spiral, Onslaught. They're kind of the more fantastic fantasy characters. So Marvel Netflix is not really my thing. So I would not consider doing a custom of them as they are. It's 7:40 over there, isn't it? It is indeed, right then, yes. Am I excited for the new John Wick movie? No, because I haven't seen the old John Wick movie. Have I played The Wolf Among Us, says Sloppy Dog Riddles? No, I haven't. It often pops up on my... I think I must have got it as a game with gold or something, or a PlayStation Network game at some point, but PlayStation Plus game, but never played it. Are there any tools for customizing that you wish you had but can't justify buying, says Touchstone Dialing? No, not really. Perhaps like a huge machine that would make casts and like a 3D digital printer and then training and how to sculpt digitally and all that. Zachary Bryans, have you ever painted any Warhammer 40k models? I used to when I was very, very young, when Hero Quest was a thing. I painted those. Camilo Campos, have you thought of making an overdrive to complete the superior foes? No, because I think Hasbro will get there themselves. The Galactic Nerd, this is his Marvel Dreamwave. You would do a full Fantastic Four with a solid and full transparent Invisible Woman, core team, Namor, Doctor Doom, Ronan and the Silver Surfer making a Dragon Man bath. Fair enough. Sounds very similar to the old Fantastic Four wave they did that was awful. Dragon Man, I don't get the fuss about why people are all over Dragon Man. I think it's just because his toy is expensive. People seem to think Dragon Man is an exciting thing to have. He's not that. G-Man, it takes you a year to make a custom. I know the feeling. Awesome Isaacs asks, do I have any ideas on making a flaming Johnny Storm? Not really. Perhaps buying a clear vision. In fact, you can go, just look up the Human Torch custom action figure on Google. You'll see plenty of ideas. Sloppy Dog Riddles, have I got many autographs? You mean it like Collector Manias? Not really. I do get the autographs because it gives me an excuse to go and talk to people. I prefer just to meet the people. I usually just get rid of the autograph afterwards. I've got autographs from a lot of Star Trek people. It's really just the Star Trek ones that I meet, right? My husband Matt, he gets autographs. He's got an autograph from Spike from Buffy, and who else? Hodor from Game of Thrones. Yeah. So we have a few, but not really an autograph collector. Right. What was I doing? I'm going to use the grey. Grey. I'm very aware that your questions are streaming up the screen. Just trying to focus on the painting just now. I'll be right with you. Own Punch Figures says, I'm back. What Marvel series do I prefer? What do you mean Marvel series? See Lady going, will I be watching Legion? Yeah, probably. What is the worst Marvel legend? Not too sure. Galactic Nerd 525, perhaps Emma Frost. Would you make of, or the Invisible Woman from the Ronin Build-A-Figure wave? Would I make a Venom-styled Hulkbuster LJ Dracos? No. I have a huge and amazing obsession with Venom. I don't, actually. I don't. I just, I don't have any particular connection to the character. I just think he suffered from not having a good figure for a long time. So I did that. Sloppy Dog Riddles. What's the video called for my Vincent Price custom? I think it's I Was a Teenage Customizer. G-Man was my Pennywise hard to let go of? Not particularly. Have I ever been Star Wars Celebration? No, I haven't. Would I go? Perhaps. What is my favourite Marvel character? Doctor Strange, Doctor Doom, Silver Surfer. What we got? Own Punch Figures. Dude, did you say your husband? Are you gay? Yes, I am gay. What Marvel character would be the best at making custom action figures? The Puppet Master, of course. Bye, Kyle. He's probably gone already, but bye. Would I ever make a Joker custom? No, I would not. Pizza Spidey or McFarlane Spidey? Like, what about them? Like, which would I rather ram into my eyeball? I'm not sure. What can you make a full question, please? Why do I use Citadel paint? True Misfit. It works for me, and I find it easy to get. And I can see it in person, which makes all the difference to me. In the shop. What custom was the hardest to give up? I don't know. I can't. I don't know. No one. Not any in particular. Will I be watching the Legion show? Yes, I probably will. I do like Legion as a character, so although that show maybe has, like all the sort of TV shows and movies, just because you sometimes liking the character is a reason to stay away. So I think I might make this customizing live a pretty short one tonight, to be honest. Me streaming this slows down our internet immensely and frustrates my husband no end. I mean, he sat there and played Zelda on the Wii U all day, and then as soon as I went to do this, he decided he wanted to use the internet as well, so, you know, he could have planned that a bit better, but don't tell him that. Don't make it go live across the internet like I'm doing or anything, so they'll find out. But anyway, I think I've taken you through most of this Doctor Strange custom. Pretty much everything I had planned, paint wise. Just only got a few small touch-ups to do. But yeah, I think that's, I don't know whether if I do live stream them, I doubt it'll be for very long, but I do need to sort out the shape of this V on the back of his head. and just make it more like it's the V is made up of individual hairs rather than it's actually just like painted on his head. So I'll go back in with my black brush, rough up the edges, and the white brush pick out some highlights. Oh, I suddenly got a very shaky hand. Yeah. Very difficult to customise and talk to you at the same time, to be honest. Junior Abril, obscure character who should get a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. I don't know. Cecilia Rees. On Punch figures. Okay, that's cool. You don't look gay though. That's just silly. Which one is the best Spidey? Those. Oh right, so you're asking me which is better, McFarlane's Spidey or Pizza Spidey? I don't know, Pizza Spidey. Just pick one. On Punch figures, you don't look feminine or something. Oh my goodness. Look, I'm not. I don't. Ugh, I'm not even gonna. People can look like. You should never judge a person based on what they look like or expect someone to look like something because of who or what they are. So, maybe there's a lesson to be learnt there somewhere internally. Do you prefer comic style Dormammu or Marvel MCU's Dormammu comic? Any idea of what the next custom is going to be? Nope. Well, Jaden, I'm not going to be around for much longer, so you'll have to get that essay done. On Punch figure, do you think symbiote Spider-Man can beat Hulk and Thor with skills? I don't know. Perhaps, depend who's writing the story. Anyone can beat anyone. James Wark, has there ever been a character that received the Marvel Legends treatment that you thought was undeserving of it? Yeah, back when they did X-23, back in the Apocalypse wave of figures. I mean, X-23 is pretty much a mainstay of the Marvel Universe now. But back in the day, everyone was like, what? What the hell? So yeah, she was a weird one back in the day. But the line's expanded a bit now. She was the first time, I think, it was like Marvel Legends, and she was like really not a legend at that point. Awesome Isaac recommends you spell Spider-Man with a hyphen. I would also recommend that thou dost, so I gave him shit for it earlier. Anyway, okay, I think I've done about as much as I'm going to do there. Things that I probably won't be doing on camera, tidying up the hair a bit, tidying up some of the little details, any little bit of paint that's come off there on the shoulder, for example. Some scuffing down in his trousers, I'll take care of that. Gloss his shoes, and then just give him a good old move around to make sure all the paint holds up okay. And I guess that's about it. So probably next time you'll see this guy will be his showcase, but you never know. I may stream him again at some point. So thank you for joining me. Have a lovely weekend. For those of you who are out of the weekend already, to the east of me, well, enjoy your week, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.